Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next finals match of the GAC Group ITTF World Tour Russian Open 2013 in Ekaterinburg. It is the women's singles finals match coming up for you. China versus China. Liu Shiwen on the left is facing Ning on the right.
Please welcome Liu Shiwen, China, Ning, China, umpires arbitrator Alexei Izilov, Valentin Ponomarev, Russia.
Let's have a look at the road towards the finals. You can see here Chinese flag peppered all in the semi-finals. 4 Chinese players remaining in the draw. From the lower bracket, Ning seeded second for this tournament. First game victory over Olga Godeva from Russia with 4-0. Then a 4-3 over Haruna Fukuoka from Japan, and then 4-1 against Wang Xuan, and a 4-2 over Ju Yiling earlier today. Number 1 seeded for this tournament, number 1 in the world ranking, is Liu Shiwen. First game victory over Polina Vikeva from Russia, 4-0 against Misako Wakamia as well, and Morisono Misaki from Japan, 4-1 in the quarterfinals. And in the semifinals earlier today, she beat her teammate Wu Yang with 4-1. Liu Shiwen versus Ning, that is a classic match in women's table tennis, nearing the semi-finals, quarter-final stage. They've played so many times already in their still young careers. 12 games played among the two, and 8 won by Liu Shiwen. First game was the Volkswagen Open in China in 2007. At the quarter-finals that year, Liu Shiwen won 4-0, and the last game was at the Qatar Open finals match in 2013. 4-1 the result, this time for Ning. Liu Shiwen has shown a strong performance throughout this tournament. The same cannot be said for her opponent today. So my guess would be Liu Shiwen slightly favorited for this match here. We'll see about that, of course. Ning in the picture, nonetheless in the yellow, the left-handed player from China. She's 23 years old. Now let's start actually with Liu Shiwen. Number 1 in the world, I've said this, 22 years old. Second, that is runner-up in the World Championship 2013. Wins the World Cup 2009, 2012 and 2013. Winner of the Kuwait Open 2013, winner of the Korean and Hungarian Open in 2012. Ning in the picture, 23 years old, world ranked number 2, runner-up in the Olympics 2012, silver medalist, that is, semi-finalist of the World Championships 2013, won the World Championships in 2011, won the World Cup in 2011, and has won 7 tournaments on the World Tour at 23 years old. Very different style of play. I'll get into that later. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the first rally here. Best of 7 games, women's singles finals match of the Russian Open. Liu Shiwen to serve. job of Ning. We've talked about different styles of table tennis here between the two. Liu Shiwen is a player that likes to exert pressure from standing close to the table, hitting the ball early on the bounce. Fast acceleration on the topspin. Ning, a little bit more relaxed in that way, likes to step back from the table and play forehand and backhand topspin. Very spectacular style of playing, actually. Watching closely onto these first points in the first game here, looking for tactics. And I'm sure tactics very clear to the players themselves. They've played each other so many times, not only on an international circuit, but also in national games. And they're both part of the A national team, so training and practice. Better start in this first game, at least, to Ning. Liu Shiwen still with some mistakes here. We've seen some ups and downs in her performance throughout this tournament. Seems to continue with this service error here. 10-4, 6 game points. Ning. First one used in a spectacular way that we've come to love from Ning. 11-4. 1 game's 2-0 the lead for Ning. Second game commencing, first quick point to Ning. Against Zhu Yuling earlier today in the semi-finals, she's not showing her best performance. Had a struggle against the Japanese player in round 16 as well, with a 4 games to 3. looked like the sure winner against Zhu Ling with 3 games to 0. And then the feel of the game started to change, almost bordered on a sensational victory for Zhu Ling, but Ding Ning kept the upper hand. Wow, great fighting spirit from Ding Ning. Liu Shiwen tried to pull her back towards the table, coming up with this stop shot here. Assisted by the net twice, Ding Ning. Was precise work. Liu Shiwen guiding that ball twice onto the white line. You can just close the eyes and just listen to the way the ball bounces. There's a certain rhythm to it, and then all of a sudden it changed, and that is Ding Ning changing deliberately the pace of the rally. It's just this rhythm play that Liu Shiwen loves, that she knows, and that once in a while you start to expect the ball bouncing at a certain time, so you feel safe in the rhythm, and Ding Ning did a good job here of breaking that rhythm. To 3. Her run continues, Ding Ning. To 3. Seven game points to Ding Ning. That was an easy one victory in this second game here. Liu Shiwen needs to step up her performance. She can afford to lose one game, maybe the first even, but not the second as well. So all the warning lights should be on for Liu Shiwen, at least as far as the third game is concerned. Ding Ning takes the second game in an impressive manner, 2 games to 0 her lead. was lucky from Ding Ning, she knows it, acknowledging her good fortune.
Fantastic rally, ladies and gentlemen. Persistent attacks from Liu Shiwen, but Ding Ning, resilient as ever, brings back everything and then some.
All. Actually, I was wondering when that would happen. Ding Ning on an all-time high during the first two games here. It had to end at some point. Or does it? Slowly but surely we can feel, rather than see Liu Shiwen taking charge of these rallies. It was deliberate placement. This time she was waiting to change the rhythm and then scored in Ding Ning's backhand. Wow, that is just her trademark shot, Liu Shiwen. The angles she can produce on the backhand topspin are phenomenal. Once again, fast-paced rally, and the things I predicted seem to come true, at least for this game here. This is not something that Ding Ning feels comfortable at. She can do this on a very high level, but if she has the choice, she would always rather step back from the table and play the topspin. And that may not be possible. Liu Shiwen waking up, slowly getting into full force here. 9-5 for the world ranked #1. 5 game points to Liu Shiwen. Game point used. Liu Shiwen wins the 3rd game. Ning still up 2 games to 1.
Fourth game, into serve, level.
First point of the 4th game to Ning. Still in the lead 2 games to 1. In a position, well, not to close off the match, but 3 games to 1. Might be a bit of a decision already. Tactically, Liu Shiwen is doing things much better in the 3rd game and in these early stages of the 4th game. She's playing right onto the body of Ning. Ning is a player that needs space to execute her large movements, her swung topspin as we see here. So when you start playing onto her body, she feels a bit constricted, cannot exert as much power as she can from the wings. Ding Ning horribly misjudged the serve of Liu Shiwen.
Let. Photo.
The rhythm is always the same. Backhand topspin from Ding Ning, cross court, brought back from Liu Shiwen right onto the body on the forehand side. Liu Shiwen, at least in my opinion, slowly but surely takes over this match. Long serve, trademark serve from Liu Shiwen, 7-4.
Let. 9-5.
Wide angle shots do work against Liu Shiwen. Maybe this is not over yet, at least not this game. Nonetheless, 4 game points to Liu Shiwen. And she takes the first opportunity to equalize. 11-6. It is now 2-2.
Fifth game, Liu to serve, level.
First 2 points of the serve of Liu Shiwen go to Ning in this fifth game. Women's singles finals match, ladies and gentlemen, of the Russian Open 2013. Good start for Ning winning the first 2 games, but slowly but surely Liu Shiwen took over, picked up the pace of the match and forced quite a few errors from Ning. One we see here. It is all on the backhand side. Ning is playing a fine backhand topspin, but there's not as much power as you can expect from her forehand side. Five all, 2-2. Might look like a comeback from Ning. Could just be Liu Shiwen stepping off the gas a bit, taking off the pressure. That is something she cannot allow herself to do, especially not against Ning. Against most other players in the world, Liu Shiwen would still win somehow, but Ding Ning for sure is one of the players that take this opportunity and use it. Poor receive on Liu Shiwen's serve. That was an easy point for her. To 7. This is just relentless from Liu Shiwen. Once she starts attacking, she never lets go. 2, 3 high pressure shots in there. The trademark backhand topspin. She equalizes to 9-9. Half-long serve onto the body of Liu Shiwen. I wonder what Ding Ning was trying to do here. Maybe forcing a long serve receive, and that is indeed what she got. Went right in for the attacking point, bringing backhand topspin. Game point now for Liu Shiwen. And a timeout called for Ding Ning. She needs time to rethink her decision here, especially the last serve was quite questionable. Wanted to position herself correctly for the next topspin, but she did the exact opposite. Liu Shiwen already back at the table. Seems to be quite confident in her tactics. Turn on the heat and then see what happens. Usually Ding Ning makes a mistake under the pressure. She has now her own serve, but game point to her opponent. Game point, Liu Shiwen.
9-10.
And she takes it. It was well crafted, waiting on the diagonal. But she has to defend another game point. This time Liu Shiwen does not kid around. She takes it 12-10. 22-year-old player is up 3 games to 2.
Into serve level.
Fast-paced action continues. Better end once again, Liu Shiwen. Ding Ning is getting dangerously close to losing the match. She cannot afford to lose yet one more game. She was in the lead 2 games, 2-0. Looked like a sure thing, but then Liu Shiwen started up. And much like the final stage of Ding Ning's semi-finals match, which we've seen earlier, the woman does not seem to have a plan of attack. More or less just goes with the flow, improvising, scoring points left and right, but I don't see clear tactics on Ding Ning. Liu Shiwen, on the other hand, is doing her tactical part just fine.
Let 3-1.
First time in a while Ding Ning served in this long rally. Builds up confidence, no doubt. 6-2. We may even see a final 7th game. Largely due to the fact that Liu Shiwen once again a bit too relaxed, a bit too passive. Was cleverly done by Ning. Played back into the backhand side of Liu Shiwen just as she was moving towards the forehand corner. She was expecting topspin come on the diagonal. Did not. Nine to 6. We are getting closer and closer to a decision, at least for this 6th game. Might be the case that we see another exciting 7th game to decide the winner of the Russian Open 2013 in the women's singles. Ning has to score twice, otherwise she allows Liu Shiwen to win. Game point to Ning. Takes it at the first time of asking. Incredible recovery from Ning. It is 11 to 7. She forces and pulls this match into a final and deciding 7th game as the score is 3 to 3. And the first point of this 7th and deciding game goes to Ning. We can see, to save time, Liu Shiwen stepping a bit away from the table, just a step or two. And that is all the difference in this game, as she cannot put Ning under so much pressure from back from the table. She needs to stay close, hit the ball early on the bounce. That is risky for her, but when you give Ning just a fraction of a second to set up for a shot, she takes charge. What a strange match, to be honest. Ning won the first 2 games with ease and then lost control over the course of the next 3 games to Liu Shiwen. But then she recovered. And it seems she's on track to victory. 3-1. There it is again, trademark backhand shot. You can see the difference here. She's staying closer to the table, Liu Shiwen. It's just half a step, but it makes up that deciding fraction of a second. Spectacular rally, Ning losing her balance twice in this rally. Stays in the lead. 5-5, 3-3. Can we ask for more tension in this match? Crucial for Ning to score with such a point. That's usually the trademark of Liu Shiwen. Wide angle shot from the backhand, explosive movement, good acceleration. This is just impossible to call. 12 games played between the two, 8-1 by Liu Shiwen, but none of these games have been such a back and forth as we see here today in Ekaterinburg. This match may be decided just by sheer determination now. At this point, anything can happen, and luck may play a deciding role. On the first shot, Liu Shiwen misjudged the ball bounce, and now shot touches the net, flies off the far end of the table. Crucial topspin from Ning, this time going for spin rather than speed, and surprising Liu Shiwen with the angle too. Makes match points for the world ranked number 2. She's won the first 2 games. Looks like she's about to win the last 2. She does. First time of asking. What a fight for Ning, and it was her game to lose, Liu Shiwen, and I'm sure she knows this. Was throughout most of the match the superior player here, but had to succumb to the determination of Ning. Congratulations nonetheless to Liu Shiwen. Great tournament for her. The #1 seed made it all the way to the finals, and only had to acknowledge the skills of her teammate, Ning, the winner of the Russian Open 2030. One more finals match to go, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the confirmation of the finals in the women's singles. There is that men's singles match, what the spectators in Yekaterinburg are invested in. It is Japan versus Russia. Coming up for you is Chan Katsuhiro facing Alexander Shibai.